You would never guess that there are hidden details about a fourth HUNTRIX member, things that will make you itch with excitement about the coming sequel and blow your mind. From Zoe's subtle hint in part 1 to a hidden clue in their names, as well as the missing guardian hint we all overlooked, this is going to be fun to talk about. Like and subscribe because I'm about to let you in on the little things you didn't pay attention to that indicate a fourth member in the coming sequel. Starting with the clue that was hidden in plain sight is the 3-part harmony line. I don't know if you guys remember the scene where everyone was walking to the Saja Boys show and the girls felt like they had lost and failed. Zoe held Mira and asked what they would do without Rumi because all their songs were 3-part harmonies. I mean, listening to that line ordinarily, you would think she was just saying that they couldn't perform any of their songs without Rumi, but there could be another meaning. It was probably the writer's way of telling us that their harmonies were incomplete and there will be a fourth member in the future to complete their harmony. Cool, right? There's more like that. Things hidden right in front of your eyes. Next is the name of the girls. What about their names? Well, this one is a little more obvious than the others. Let's call out their names one after the other. Rumi, Zoe, and Mira. Now, what do all their names have in common? Come on, I know you can get it right. Well, they are all 4-letter words, or in this case, 4-letter names. If everyone in the group has 4-letter names, doesn't it go without saying that they are trying to hint at something? Something like a fourth member. And let's be honest, having a group of 4 members with names that have 4 letters isn't just a nice detail, but it's also a flex. That's like saying my name is Washington and I'm from Washington, D.C., and maybe I become the President of America. See how interesting that sounds? It looks like I'm fated to be President of America. Or how the fastest man in the world is named Bolt. I mean, it's just cool. So yeah, 4 members with 4-letter names is quite interesting. The next clue is the typical girl groups. I'd like to ask you this. How many popular K-pop girl groups do you know that have just 3 members? You're really racking your brains now, aren't you? 2 is a duo, and as for 3, well, I don't know about you, but 3 doesn't really scream the word group to me. And let's look at the most popular female K-pop groups. 50/50, New Jeans, Twice, aespa, ITZY, IVE, and the biggest of them all, Blackpink. Now, each and every one of those groups has at least 4 members. Some of them have a lot more, and there are some I can't even mention because there are so many successful groups, but they are all more than 3. And there is no doubt that Kpop Demon Hunters try to reflect the real world of K-pop as much as possible. So I guess I am not speculating when I say the number of the group will definitely increase to 4 members. The next hidden clue is one of my personal favorites. It has to do with elements. What are the main elements? Want to say them with me? Water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the 4 nations, I'm just messing with you. But yeah, those are the 4 elements. And I think it's safe to say that each of the members has proven to be an element. I mean, there's Rumi. That girl is a flaming ball of fire. She's restless, wild, and impatient. If fire were a person, it would definitely be Rumi. Then there's Zoe. Can you guess what element she is? Water. You're right. She's the one who flows and calms. She is peace and power. Then there's Mira. That is as tough and rigid as the earth. Sure, Mira is as thin as the rest of her teammates, but whenever you imagine her, tell me you don't just think of a very strong and immovable individual. She's that unique. But that leaves us with one element that isn't claimed. Air. It's heavenly, peaceful, calm, and yet chaotic, almost spiritual. Makes me wonder what the 4th member would be like. Gosh, I can't wait for the sequel. The 5th clue is the missing high note. Remember how Rumi struggled to hit a high note during one of their performances? I mean, sure, she was already struggling with her voice, but it was quite noticeable because the note she needed to hit was quite high, and it made a lot of fans start cooking up theories. In a band, every member has the responsibility or skill sets. Sure, every member needs to be able to do a little bit of everything, but there are areas that each member is a god at. Like in BTS, RM and Suga are the main rappers, but they can sing as well. And in Blackpink, Jennie and Lisa are the rappers, but they still sing. It's kind of like that with the HUNTRIX. Zoe and Mira are clearly the better rappers, while Rumi is the vocalist. Yet she can't hit those super high notes, and that's where the fourth member comes in. A lot of fans believe the fourth member will have a very powerful voice that will leave us all in wonder. And I think that's in line with her element. Remember that the fourth member will be the air element. And if there's anything we learned from Avatar: The Last Airbender, it is that airbenders have powerful lungs. So you can already see how everything is aligning. Anyways, we are finally at the sixth clue, but I like to call it the mystical clue. So what do any of you know about the four guardians? Anyone? Okay, I'll just answer it. The four guardians are a group of celestial beings that govern the four cardinal directions of the world as we know it. There's the blue dragon, which governs the east. The black tortoise governs the north. The white tiger governs the west. And the vermilion bird governs the south. Hold my cup, I'm cooking. Now, each member of HUNTRIX represents one of the guardians. Remember, the guardians are the ones that keep the balance of the world. Without them, there is no balance. And let's be honest, without HUNTRIX, the human world would be cooked. They keep the balance, keeping the demons on their own side and humans safe on their own side. But for there to be balance, the guardians themselves need to be balanced. But there are four guardians, while HUNTRIX are just 3 in number. Now, you might be wondering which member represents which particular guardian. Well, that's where I come in. For that, we'll take a look at the colors of each of the members. Sure, all of them have a touch of gold in their outfits, but there are specific colors that are signature to each of them. There's Rumi, who gets the color white. I don't think I need to say much about this. I mean, the girl was in white even when she didn't need to be. That was her own color. She is the white tiger of the West. Then there's Zoe. She's the living embodiment of Azure. Her outfit was probably the most cosplayed one from the movie during Halloween this year. She is, without a doubt, the Azure Dragon of the East. And don't even get me started on how her weapons are like dragon talons and how she fights with so much agility and finesse like a dragon. Then there's Mira. The color black just fits her. Even her backstory feels like blackness. She is the black tortoise of the north, which leaves one guardian missing, the vermilion bird, which is basically a phoenix. It is red and rules the air. The fourth member will bring balance and will be the vermilion bird of the south. Speaking of the color red, that brings us to the seventh clue. Other than black, which color is basically used to portray a great evil character? The answer is red. And that brings my next question, which is, why wasn't Guima red? The big bad demon in a movie where he was even represented as a big burning flame wasn't red? I mean, it's quite obvious. The filmmakers chose not to use that color palette. Because why else would Guima be reddish purple instead of red? He's a literal flame. They could have made him the reddest flame in movie history, but they didn't. Why? Well, my answer is this. The fourth HUNTRIX member already claimed the color red, and the guardian she represents is a fiery red bird, so they couldn't give a fiery red to Guima. Moving on to the eighth number. Remember how I told you that the guardians were the balance of the world, and that they needed balance as well? There is this theory that the Hun Moon has not been sealed in all the generations of demon hunters because all of them were trios instead of quartets. They all represented just 3 guardians when 4 were needed to maintain the balance and seal the Hun Moon. And to be honest, that theory seems sound. They would have sealed the Hun Moon permanently if they were 4. I mean, even the strongest of demon hunters, which in my opinion were the first trio who sealed Guima in the demon world, couldn't seal the Hun Moon permanently, and that's because they weren't a quartet. Anyways, that brings us to another theory that the fourth member will be a foreigner, as in not Korean. So a lot of people believe that they will do this to show the expansion of K-pop. Sure, it is and forever will be a Korean art form, but it's going global, and that means people from other countries will also join in it. I mean, take a look at Blackpink. They have a member that isn't Korean, and we have all come to accept and love her. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure a lot of you might not know who it is, so perhaps we can expect the fourth member to be from a country outside Korea, which also symbolizes how big HUNTRIX is becoming. I really think they are the biggest demon hunting singers ever. No other generation could have been as popular as them. And finally, the last clue is the name of the fourth member. There are two names floating around, and I already have my preference. The first name that seems to be popularly accepted is Jia, which means home or family in Chinese. And some people claim to have heard the name being chanted in the demon market scene, but I don't really vibe with the name. A lot of people like it because the meaning of the name is what the girls are to each other, a family, a home. I get it, it's sweet, but it's not for me. My personal favorite is the name Sora, and you would never guess what it means in Japanese. It translates to sky or heavens. And guess what guardian can fly high into the heavens? Yup, the vermilion bird. I know I'm pushing an agenda, but you cannot deny that it all aligns. Another reason I prefer Sora to Jia is because it matches the four-letter names that the rest of the girls have. So it'll now be Rumi, Mira, Zoe, and Sora. Catchy, right? I know you love it too. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And hey, drop a comment to let me know what you think. Until next time, bye.